Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope everybody's day is going great. Mine is going absolutely fabulous, and I'm sure your guys's was amazing as well. Overwatch League was insane today. Every single match was a nail biter. Every single second of Overwatch League today was amazing. We started off with the two semifinal matches, New York Excelsior, Dallas Fuel, amazing. The battle for LA, absolutely amazing, all the way to game 5. It was a perfect script. I couldn't have written it any better. Overwatch League was just great today, and I can't say it enough, guys. If you agree with that, be sure to drop a like down below. Subscribe to my channel for more daily Overwatch League content. In this video, we're mainly going to focus on the games, guys. We'll cover a lot of the aftermath later. We do have a couple things that the Dallas Fuel players said, like Seagull and Taimou. Potentially Taimou not playing with Dallas Fuel Season 2, not sure. We'll take a look at those after the games. And then lastly in the video, I am going to talk about Realm Royale real quick. Guys, if you didn't know, the past 2 days I've been competing in the first Realm Royale tournaments, and my team did place second place yesterday and first place today, making us the official champions of the UMG events that they're doing, and the most winningest team so far in all of Realm Royale, guys. So we're going to cover a little bit of that at the end of the video, and now let's go ahead and get into it. So let's start off with the LA versus LA match, and this one was epic. It's always amazing when these two teams come together. I can't remember a match that wasn't super exciting. Even when Valiant got the easy win over the Gladiators this past stage, it was still a fun and exciting matchup. This one was crazy though. We started off on Gibraltar, and honestly, I can't think of anything but other than Soon. He popped off, boys. That was his map. He played great, but it wasn't just him. Overall, the Valiant looked amazing though. They got a first hold on the Gladiators. Agility's showing his flexibility. Not only is it an amazing projectile, but he can also pick up that Brigida, and he could play it at one of the highest levels in the league. Honestly, if I compare his Brigida to Mickey's, he's not that far behind. I think he has that positioning mentality that Mickey does, where he finds those really clutch opportunities to help his team pull ahead. So yeah, I mean, Gibraltar, there wasn't much to talk about. It was just a dominating performance by the LA Valiant. And I thought, man, this actually is kind of scary for Gladiators. The Valiant can catch momentum here going into the second map, which was 2CP, and honestly, you never know going into 2CP. It could be any team's game. Anybody could take this because one slight mistake can lose you the whole map. And early on, it did look like Valiant were on fire because they capped first and second with over 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. So I was very worried for the Gladiators, but when the pressure was on, they did fire back. They didn't take it as fast as the Valiant, but they still had a respectable time, about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And oh my god, Fisher, amazing play on the Reinhardt from him. Honestly, everybody in this whole match just played great. When the Gladiators were doing good, every player on their team was popping off. Surefour was, Bishu, Void, whoever was in there for them. Hydration had good performances, and then the same with the Valiant. It was just like a battle of who was going to play better on this map, which team. And it was definitely the Gladiators on Horizon Lunar Colony, because they picked up a first hold, well, I guess you call it a second hold. 4 minutes and 30 seconds plus, the Gladiators held down first point on Horizon Lunar Colony. That's amazing, especially after the Valiant just had an incredible run where they had 4 minutes left. Like, wow. Gladiators took that away, and then I was thinking after this map, wow, Gladiators are going to catch fire. It's going to be them with momentum on their side. And going into this map, you definitely know there's going to be a Pharah map, and there's going to be a battle in the sky. And to be honest, with Agilities and Hydration, I'd say they are probably the two most improved Pharahs in the league, or at least the ones that you didn't expect to be amazing at first. And at the end of Stage 4, they're basically the two best Pharahs. So that was an exciting battle to see. Going into this match, I would say Agilities was probably more favored for me because his performances lately on Pharah have been insane. But I think Hydration did get the best of him. Maybe it was just that the LA Gladiators picked up the map fairly easily. But still, it was epic. Then we moved on to Control Center. And honestly, it was another easy round for the Gladiators. Sure, Valiant did win 1 or 2 team fights on this map, but it was nothing convincing. Gladiators completely dominated here. Surefour on the McCree Control Center, he absolutely destroyed. Had some amazing shots. There was one specific clip where he was on the Mega Pack, and it's just insane play from the Gladiators. They went up in the set 2-1, and I definitely thought momentum was now on their side, and it might have been over. Moving on to that fourth map, it was King's Row, and Gladiators, they have a pretty decent track record on this map. So I'd say Valiant, they were staring death right in their eyes. It was time for them to put up or shut up, and damn, did they put up. And not to say that this map wasn't close at all, but Valiant, they definitely showed here that they were going to persevere when they needed to. Soon he came back alive. He was amazing on Gibraltar, kind of went a little bit quiet on Horizon and Lijiang, but he was back on King's Row, and he carried that all the way into Dorado as well. Soon had a spectacular match, especially when the Valiant were winning. Back to King's Row real quick though. Epic matchup, went all the way to the very last team fight. And honestly, Hydration's Doomfist, it was pretty decent, and I thought they were going to cap third and force overtime. But Fate, he swung his Reinhardt hammer and booped Fisher off of the map. That was just so heartbreaking as a Gladiators fan. As a Valiant fan, it's just like, how did that happen? Oh my god, Fate is amazing. And boom, that was the turning point in that fight. And Valiant, they took King's Row, forcing Game 5, Dorado. And here we go, boys. One map to decide who is the king of LA. Unfortunately, though, this map wasn't as close as any of the other ones. Valiant started off on attack, and, you know, they were moving through it pretty slowly. They got to the last point with very little time, and they didn't cap it out. Los Angeles Gladiators did get that hold off, and they were looking good, but they couldn't transition over to offense. The LA Valiant, man, they had an okay attack, but their defense was absurd. It was amazing, guys. Everything the Gladiators threw at Valiant just failed. It didn't work. And just like that, it was over, man. It was kind of sad to see, depressing for the LA Gladiators. Obviously, if you're a Valiant fan, it's super exciting, you know, moving on to the finals. But I was really hoping for like an epic last team fight that would decide it all. Kind of like the Philadelphia and London Spitfire team fight yesterday, where you get just amazing reactions, jaw-dropping gameplay. But, you know, it is what it is. It was still an amazing set. And Valiant, they moved on to the finals, where they'd be waiting for the winner of the Dallas Fuel and New York Excelsior match. And we're going to go ahead and hop into this one right now because, woo, it was good. And I mean, I would definitely say it was the match of the day just because of the excitement levels I was going through. Honestly, I was just an emotional wreck during this match. We started off on Gibraltar, and New York Excelsior, they did look like the better team, but Dallas Fuel were definitely holding their own. Like, on their attack, they capped all 3 points. Sure, New York Excelsior had a minute more, but only a minute more. We're talking about the best team ever in Overwatch League, so that's pretty good from the Dallas Fuel. They did end up losing this map, but it was competitive, and that's what really excited me. We then moved on to the second map, which was Horizon Lunar Colony, and okay, this one, you know, went downhill for the Dallas Fuel. Wasn't very competitive, and I was like, oh, maybe New York Excelsior was sandbagging the whole time. But that was just Horizon Lunar Colony, guys, because after the Dallas Fuel went down 0-2, they kicked it into next gear, going into Lijiang Tower. I mean, sure, the first round was 99-99, but that second round was 100-0. The Dallas Fuel took Lijiang Tower pretty easily. I mean, it wasn't as dominating as New York Excelsior's performance on Horizon, but it was dominating. So Dallas Fuel, they bounced back, making it a 2-1 series going into that fourth map, which was King's Row. And guess what, guys? Dallas Fuel, they dominated again. They had a very convincing win on King's Row. Sure, it took them a couple tries to cap first, but once they capped first, they steamrolled to that second point. Then on third, of course, they lost a couple team fights again, but eventually they took it with some nice Diva Bomb plays. And Dallas Fuel, 1 minute and 26 seconds is what they had on King's Row. Oh, and real quick, I forgot to talk about this. On Dallas Fuel's attack, what the hell was Ark thinking? Like, come on, dude. Okay, he must have been having flashbacks of, like, going against the Dallas Fuel in Stage 2 when they absolutely stomped them 4-0 because he literally popped his Valk solo and ran on the point and was like, hey, Widowmaker, Taimou, I bet you can't hit me. Do-do-do. And he got sniped out of there. Taimou was like, boy, sit down. What are you trying to do? Which, honestly, what the hell was Ark trying to do? He must have forgot that this wasn't the regular season anymore. Buddy, we ain't sandbagging. There's money on the line. You need to win this. I guess the salt was too strong for the sand, boys. Taimou came out on top of that engagement. That was a yikes from Mark. I don't know what he was thinking. So he died, and then, yeah, Dallas Fuel, they stormed through second point. Then they lost those couple team fights on third, but capped it out, and they swapped over to defense. And they were solid on defense, guys. They were winning a lot of team fights. I know New York did get to the third point, but, like, they struggled to get to the third point. They were in overtime multiple times on this push. And, yeah, Dallas Fuel, they look great. They tied the series up 2-2. And all of a sudden, we're in a situation where New York Excelsior can potentially lose to the freaking Dallas Fuel in Stage 4. If anybody would have predicted that in Stage 2, I would have called them an idiot and told them, don't ever talk about Overwatch League again. And if I would have said that to somebody, I would look like a damn fool right now, so thank God I didn't. And here we go. Fifth map, guys, Dorado. And this map was close. It was much closer than that LA Valiant, LA Gladiators Dorado map. Dallas Fuel, they started off an attack. You know, they slowly moved it. It wasn't the best attack ever. They did get some distance though, and to be honest, Dorado is a pretty hard map to push on, so I'd say they did decent. Then they swapped over to the defense, which is where they've been really clutch lately, and they were holding the New York Excelsior down. But they just weren't holding them down enough, guys. New York was pushing at just a little bit faster of a pace than Dallas Fuel was. It looked like Taimou was maybe going to make a miracle play and kill everybody on that last team fight, but he just couldn't make it happen. New York Excelsior, they capped and they won. Sure, they had about 45 seconds left, but it was nearly the last team fight. It was a lot more epic than that LA Valiant match, and I do think this was the match of the day. 100%, it was amazing, super exciting to watch. Dallas Fuel almost did it. I mean, I shed a tear, but hey, they need to hold their heads high. Every fan of Dallas Fuel needs to be happy. What an amazing turnaround for the season. Honestly, like, they need to win the most improved trophy. I don't know if there is one, but Dallas Fuel deserves it 100%. And that was it for this set, guys. When we moved on to the finals, New York Excelsior, LA Valiant, and the result was, I would say, a little bit shocking. LA Valiant took it. We started off on the very first map, which was Dorado, and interesting enough, both teams were actually warmed up on this map because it was the last one they played. And LA Valiant, they showed why today they are the best Dorado team. Not only did they first hold the LA Gladiators, they first held the New York Excelsior on this map. They must have put so much preparation and hard work into this map, they figured out the best way to hold it down. And they were rewarded with that. They then moved on to attack and championship level play coming out from Agilities, guys. I'm telling you, when he was on Hanzo, climbed up that wall, dropped down and killed Ark, climbed back up, then went back over, killed Libero on Junkrat, and then took Mako's mech. Wow. All by himself, guys. That is championship level play. So they moved on to the second map, feeling hot, which was Hanamura, and potentially looking to run away with it. New York Excelsior, they started off on attack. It took them a couple minutes to take that first point, but they eventually did, and it looked like they were going to snowball second point extremely hard. Libero was on the Pharah, he was hitting every single rocket, they capped up a tick, and then LA Valiant came out, they were able to resurge, Custa had a clutch Valkyrie, and then after that, it was lights out defense from the LA Valiant. They held New York Excelsior for 4 more minutes straight, but it was all for nothing because on their attack, they weren't able to get anything going. New York Excelsior, they got a first hold. So there it was, back-to-back first holds from each team, tying up the series 1-1, and we went into Oasis. And this was an interesting map. Going into the Pharah duel, you know, Libero, one of the best Pharahs in the league, pretty much known as the guy who's been dominating all season long. Then we have Agilities, basically the rising star, guy who's been playing very good lately on the Pharah. And I do believe Agilities got the best of him, especially on that very last team fight on the first round. Agilities, he came out of nowhere, barraged Libero, killed him, then he took out Mako's mech, and that was another championship level play. The positioning, the way he got behind Libero was huge, and Agilities, he wanted this win for his team. They took that first round, went on to the second one, and LA Valiant didn't look back. This wasn't a really close round. New York Excelsior, they won one team fight, got up to 36%. Other than that, it was all LA Valiant, winning Oasis, going up 2-1 in this series, guys. All they needed to do was win Blizzard World, and they are the Stage 4 champions. And let's be honest, guys, the LA Valiant's defense on Gibraltar, Dorado, and Blizzard World, basically all payload and hybrid maps, was incredible. First hold every single time. Seriously, I think the preparation from the LA Valiant's coaching staff and just overall players was incredible. These guys were prepared and ready to win today, and they were hungry for it. They took it. They got that first hold off on Blizzard World, and all they needed to do was cap one tick, and they're the champions. And they did just that. Pretty easily, too. LA Valiant. They did it, guys. They took out the kings of Overwatch, pretty much the best team we've seen ever. And honestly, I know people are going to talk about New York Excelsior possibly not trying hard at certain points. Guys, there was a lot of money on the line. They were definitely trying. LA Valiant was the better team today. I'm not going to say that LA Valiant is the best team right now and the best team overall and are going to win everything moving forward, but they were 100% the best team today, and doing it today does prove that they can do it later on in the playoffs. They have a bye in the first round, 2 matches, and the LA Valiant are the Overwatch League Season 1 champions. That's going to be interesting. The playoffs are super exciting. And let's go ahead and move on now and talk a little bit about some responses from Taimou and Seagull after the match today. So starting off with Taimou, he tweeted this out after the match. Since the season is over for us and my future is still up in the air, I will start streaming daily until All-Stars. Maybe. and Overwatch World Cup happens, and then daily until Season 2 starts, or if I'm going to be in Contenders, lol. More info soon, my doggy's heart. It's really cool. Time is going to be streaming. He's definitely entertaining. A guy who's out there and says what he thinks. Pretty funny. And I just want to say, Taimou, you had an amazing resurgence in your career during Stage 4, man. You were down and out. You were knocked down. I had no faith in you, and I know a lot of people just did not believe in you anymore. You possibly didn't believe in yourself, but you came up clutch in Stage 4. You deserve to be on the Dallas Fuel for Season 2. You proved yourself today in the match alone. Man, you went head-to-head against Pine, Seagull. Just seriously, round of applause for Taimou and the Dallas Fuel guys. They had an amazing performance. They seriously are the comeback of the year. Congratulations to them. And let's go ahead and look at what Seagull said. When Seagull was asked about his future and what the decision was like choosing the pro route over being a full-time streamer.
Like, if you're in a grind, like Overwatch League, and you're burned out, you don't make the decision when you're burned out. You take a break and you think about it, and then you do it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, if I was going to be worried about a decision like that, a decision would come months from now. For right this second, I'm not too worried about it. As for the, like, regret type of thing,
Yeah.
I mean, for any streamer, there's always going to be the financial aspect of you're always going to make a lot more money streaming, particularly since Twitch has blown up massively with Fortnite and other BR games over the past 9 to 12 months or so. But for me, Overwatch and Overwatch League and playing competitively is something you can't do, or it's not an experience you get anywhere else. But the stream is still there if I want to go back. So if I wanted to play, this is it. I don't know if I'm going to be good enough next season. Like, when that was my thought process going into Season 1, right? I didn't know anything about Season 2. I was like, oh yeah, Season 1, I think I'm good right now. I could probably do it, and I just went for it.
So very interesting response there coming from Seagull. It seems like he just has that competitive edge, and you know when you have it, you love to compete, and you know a little money's not going to stop you. Well, I guess a lot of money in this case, but he's still making good money, and like he said, he knows that he can always fall back on his streaming if he needs to. This is once in a lifetime opportunity to be playing in the Overwatch League, and you have to go for that. I don't blame him. XQC did the same thing, but you know, that kind of went a different direction. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the video today. There is so much to talk about now that the season is over, and I'm going to be covering a ton of things in my upcoming videos. Be sure to comment down below what you guys want to see and hear me talk about during the off season, or you know, at least for now while we wait for the playoffs to start. We do have around 3 to 4 weeks to prepare for those playoffs. I'll definitely be talking a lot about that, but there's other things we got to talk about too. And now let's go ahead and move on, and I want to talk about Realm Royale a little bit here, guys. Of course, if you don't enjoy Realm Royale, you don't have to watch anymore. Thank you. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So I just want to say real quick, sorry about the extremely late upload today. Again, for those of you who do not know, I have been playing Realm Royale tournaments. I played yesterday and I played today. They go very long, about 8 hours each. So I had to catch up on the Overwatch League after we won the tournament today. So that's why the video was late. But as I said, we did win the tournament today, guys, with over 60 plus teams entered in. I wouldn't say every player that is really good played, but there was a lot of good competition. Pros from Fortnite, PUBG, Paladins, a ton of competition, guys. And 2 tournaments in a row. Me and my teammate Motorius, we went back-to-back in the finals. We did lose last night, unfortunately. That's why I didn't want to talk about it. I was kind of sad and ashamed of it. But we came in clutch today, and we are now the most winningest team in all of Realm Royale. We're the only team to basically go deep in both of the tournaments, let alone the finals twice and winning one of them. So I'm pretty proud of that. I did tell you guys last week that I was pretty good at this game, and I was probably going to look to go professional. Not trying to brag or anything. That is just my mindset. I'm grinding. I want to be the best. I'm working hard. And let me know down below if you guys want to see more Realm Royale content from me. I want to do educational videos, help you guys become better. I want to do highlight videos. I want to possibly start streaming, doing stuff like that. I love the game. I really do. Realm Royale is very fun for me. I am really good at it. I'm getting the old feels from playing Overwatch in the beginning, playing Paladins when I was pro in those games. And I want to do it again, guys, so I hope you support me on that. And real quick, if you do support me on that and you want to see me succeed, I'm going to link a tweet down below. Just go ahead and drop a like on it. You don't have to retweet it, but if you do, that's cool as well. It has to do with Keemstar. He's going to be hosting tournaments from Realm Royale, just like he does in Fortnite. And he asked who the best players are in the community so he could find who he wants to play in it. And I just want to make sure he can see it, so go ahead and drop a like. Link to the tweet will be down below. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below, like the video, and I'm out of here, guys. Peace.